Durant and his injury remain the primary focal point of the sports discussion because it brings up so many more questions than it does answers as far as the offseason. KD can do a lot of things. He can opt in for another year with the Warriors. More likely, he will opt out and become a free agent. That has numerous implications in Golden State and well beyond. Candidly, this is a story that will be felt throughout the summer in the NBA. And for more on this, let's go live to Oakland, where Jalen Rose is ready to go covering the finals. And obviously, we will have time tomorrow to talk about the games. But I want to start with this piece of it here, Jalen. How do you see the Kevin Durant injury changing free agency the way we've been talking about it, particularly for a guy like Kyrie Irving, whose name has been connected to him, it feels like, forever?
So this is going to be an A-plus free agent class this offseason, Greeny. Headlined by Kawhi and KD, and Kyrie and Clay. But then there are also other players that are going to be free agents. Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Vucevic that plays for the Orlando Magic, Kemba Walker. They're MVP level players, they're all NBA level players, and then they're all-star NBA players that are going to be free agents this offseason. If you're a team and you have the opportunity to sign Kyrie Irving, of course you want to do it. The problem is, say you're the Nets and he really wants to come. Is he going to be that game-changing player that makes you a contender? I don't think so. We just saw what happened in Boston last year. Dynamic scorer, not the best leader, won't help lead you to the conference finals when you got a crew like the Celtics had, and Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Brad Stevens as the coach. So that is really going to change the dynamics. And also, if you're a team like the Knicks, you now have an opportunity to get a red shirt year. If you sign KD, you obviously put him on the shelf for a year. You allow all of your young pieces, Knox, RJ Barrett, you allow them to grow, get back into the lottery, Dennis Smith Jr. And then all of a sudden, you get another lottery pick, hopefully somebody else to come play with KD, and you try to build that way. It's going to be fascinating once he decides what he's going to do.
All right, so there was two pieces there that I want to focus on both of them. Let's start with KD because you went there second. You're telling me that if you're the Knicks right now, you give him the 4 years and the 160, whatever it is, million, which is the max you can, knowing that for one season he won't play. When he comes back, he's 32 years old.
Absolutely, because you now have a main chess piece on the board. You sign KD at all costs if you're New York. The same way their fans thought that they might get Zion, even though the percentage was only in the teens. If you sign KD, that's definite. You got him in uniform. Now you can pick and choose who comes to play with him. You can grow your young talent. You can go back into the lottery, get another player, and then all of a sudden, a year from now, you're a contending type team because you still have one of the best players in the game, and he's going to be in the Eastern Conference, and hope he can do what Kawhi is doing right now.
All right, let me go back then to Kyrie. I've been saying this for a while, and it feels even more certain to me now. The best path for Kyrie Irving is to team up again with LeBron James. He is not meant to be the best player on a championship team. You just said it. You put Kyrie and LeBron together right now, and you don't have to trade anything to get them, even without Anthony Davis. Kyrie, LeBron, and all those good players they have, with Kevin Durant out of Golden State or at least hurt, there's a path for the Lakers to win the West, in my opinion. That's where Kyrie should go, Jalen.
I agree with you, Greeny. Not only do you have amazing hair, that take is exactly right. I agree with you. Kyrie Irving now becomes the kid that when the parents divorce, he has to decide who he wants to live with. KD is now injured. Instead of going to pair with him and try something that was going to be game-changing that he's never done, so both of them can prove something amazing, going to team up with LeBron is the best path because they don't have to give up any assets for him to join the team. You hope Kuzma comes back healthy, which he will. Same with Ball. What's going to happen with Brandon Ingram and his blood clot situation? They said he's going to be healthy. Now you add Kyrie. That's a dynamic team. And I have to say this. While we talk so much about the dysfunction in La La Land with the Lakers, they've actually gotten better since Magic Johnson stepped down. Anytime you get Frank Vogel, anytime you get Jason Kidd to join his coaching staff, also, anytime you get the 4th pick, that gives you more assets. You get Lionel Hollins to join the coaching staff. The Los Angeles Lakers, while we're talking about what they are not, they're actually positioning themselves to be a really good team next season.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a formula that could potentially wind up winning a lot of games. One more quickly for you. Kawhi, when this thing is over, what do you believe he should do?
You got to stay in Toronto. It's hard to walk away from a parade. I've said it on this show. California has 4 teams. Los Angeles has 2 teams. Therefore, you got to split allegiances. And usually the team with the most championships is going to have the most groupies and the most fans. In Toronto, he has a nation behind him. Do you realize all of the provinces that are featuring their versions of Jurassic Park? Do you realize all of the movie theaters are showing Raptor games, not Black Panther, when the team is playing? Like, this has become something that this nation has so very embraced that I think if they win the championship, he's going to be the 3rd person other than Kareem and LeBron to win Finals MVP for multiple teams. It will be hard to walk away from the Toronto Raptors, especially after you deliver a championship and you see how you're going to be embraced and they give you that ultimate parade.
I agree. Listen, tomorrow morning, Jalen, we'll talk more about tomorrow night's Game 6, which the Warriors need to win, and we will set aside some more time to talk about my hair, because I very much enjoyed that. Jalen Rose, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day in the Bay Area. Laura, take us to some football.
Dramatic night last night in Toronto. Kevin Durant was cleared to play before the game. The rumors were that he was playing, and he warmed up, and he danced in the hallway. And when he took the court, he was on fire. He hit his first 3 threes, had 11 points in the game, and looked to be all the way back. And then the nightmare happened. Driving to the hole on Serge Ibaka, he was injured. And eventually, he would walk off the floor and go into the back. And it's bad. It is an Achilles injury. They expect it to be a tear of his Achilles. Jalen Rose, we will talk about this almost the entire show today. But my first question for you is, how does this moment change the NBA Finals moving forward?
Well, it changes it dramatically. I was a person coming into this series, had KD been healthy, I would have picked the Warriors in 5. With KD injured, I said Raptors in 7. It looks like that's where we're heading. You hate to see anyone get injured, especially somebody the magnitude of somebody like Kevin Durant on a stage like this. But I must state the obvious, and this is coming from the heart. As fans, as media, as supporters of the game, congratulations, you got your pound of flesh. This idea that Kevin Durant is just as good as other NBA players at 75%. Yeah, when he's catching and shooting 3 threes, but soon as it's time to penetrate and make a play off the dribble, he re-injures himself. I go on Countdown Friday night, and I specifically said Kevin Durant's workout did not go well for anybody involved, and that he basically punted on the workout. For anybody that follows football, I don't know if people really understood what I was saying. On 3rd down and 3, if you punt the ball, it's a surrender that you're going to get a chance to play another down, and you want your defense to now get a stop and get the offense back the ball, okay? He was not ready to go. And if you're not ready to go on Friday with a strained calf that's kept you out for 30 days, that obviously affects your Achilles, because anybody that saw him with ice clearly seen that he had it on his calf and he had it on his Achilles. You're not all of a sudden going to be ready to play against Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors in an NBA Finals game. And Oskino and Sparks said it best. People will bring flowers to your funeral, but never soup when you're sick. And I can't front. I was standing on the stage at the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy graduation and thinking, the time and energy it takes to earn the respect and the trust of these families and students and members of our staff to now have a collection of people that have worked so very hard and sacrificed themselves that we've not only graduated students from high school, but we've graduated students from college. We had one media outlet there to talk about it. But if something tragic happens to me, oh man, it'll be cameras at the school forever. So as an athlete and as a public figure, we don't cry for sympathy. People think because you have fame, because you have money, all you gotta do is get out there and perform. We just wanna see you do what you do until something happens. So for everybody, save the fake crocodile tears for Kevin Durant. Because if the Golden State Warriors were up 3-1 and they won without him, people would be saying what they said in the Portland series. See, I told you they were better without him. Look how much the offense is moving without him. The ball is moving. They look so much better. But no, he caved to public consumption. Kawhi didn't cave. When he got misdiagnosed by the Spurs, he played 9 games. And whether it was Pop, whether it was Tony Parker, whether it was the media saying he should play, he trusted his body. And he waited, got traded, and now he's shining in the NBA Finals. But Kevin Durant, who we see hears the criticism because he's in the comments. And we understood that the Warriors probably would not be his team. That's why we all anticipate that he's going to leave to prove something to us. So now all of a sudden he plays indirectly. It's like he was bullied to play. He gets out there and tries to perform on the biggest stage when his team is facing elimination, and he gets hurt again. And if he tore his Achilles, it's going to cost him 12 months of his NBA career.
So I'm glad you went there because I want to talk to you about that decision to play. Bob Myers came out and he said that there was multiple doctors involved. The whole medical staff cleared him to play. He worked out. It didn't go well, as you said. You know, how much of this was the public persona and the public saying that the Warriors are better without KD. Should Kevin Durant have played?
No, no, no. I came through the door. I said it before. No. If they were up 3-1, David Jacoby, do you think he would have played?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so they were facing elimination. He hears the chatter. He comes out and feels like, I'm going to shut everybody up. And he makes a couple of catch-and-shoot threes, and then I have people trying to even assassinate my character. Oh, Jalen said the workout didn't go well. He didn't know what he was talking about. Then all of a sudden, he tries to do a move off the dribble and re-injures himself, and then now all of a sudden, everybody want to fake and act like that they care, when he was never ready to go.
So, Jalen, the president of basketball operations for the Warriors, Bob Myers, was the person with him the second he left the floor and walked him out of the arena when he left the arena. Afterwards, he faced the press, and here's what an emotional Bob Myers had to say.
Prior to coming back, he went through 4 weeks with our medical team, and it was thorough, and it was experts and multiple MRIs and multiple doctors, and we felt the process. He was cleared to play tonight. That was a collaborative decision. I don't believe there's anybody to blame, but I understand this world. And if you have to, you can blame me. I run our basketball operations department.
Jalen, what do you think about Mr. Myers' comments?
I think that if you're looking for somebody to blame, it's a collective. The Golden State Warriors wanted to win a series, and their best player seems like he's ready to go. The best player feels like he's willing to go. They look at one another and say, let's try this. So I'm not putting more blame on the Warriors or KD or any way, shape, or form. What I am saying is this. He missed over 30 days because of a strained calf that clearly affected his Achilles. You don't all of a sudden not be able to do a workout on Thursday and then be able to play at an elite level on Monday after sitting out multiple weeks. It just doesn't work like that. He came back because they were facing elimination. and he caved to public pressure that athletes hear. The chatter, you're weak, you're soft, you're not competitive. Oh, the players from back in the day, they would have found a way to get out there and perform. And yes, that has happened. But however, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's smart.
Well, it did happen, and the nightmare happened for Kevin Durant. He now is hurt. So there's implications beyond the last 2 games of this NBA Finals. There's implications on his career. As we all know, he has an option to opt out of his current deal with the Warriors. He also has an option to opt in, a player option for about $31.5 million. He could stay with the Warriors, sign a 5-year deal for $221 million, or he could go elsewhere and potentially get a 4-year, $164 million deal. Those are 3 different paths that he could take this summer. What do you think is the best decision for Kevin Durant?
I always felt like the best decision for Kevin Durant is to stay with the Golden State Warriors. He's the reigning back-to-back Finals MVP. The reason why I believe and so many thought that he would leave at the end of this season was for validation. The reason a lot of people felt like he came back yesterday was for validation, to show the world that he can lift the Warriors from a 3-1 deficit and win the championship and become the hero that we all love when we watch the drama that plays out that is called sports. But it did not take place that way. I always felt like running with the Splash Brothers in that situation was the best thing for his future. After how his teammates responded, after how Bob Myers responded, I think now having that love, having that bond, getting injured on that big stage will really affect his decision-making to the point where I hope now he decides not only to stay, but to stay long-term.
I agree. Do you think that he will receive those type of offers, that he will receive the maximum that other teams can give him, and he will receive a 5-year max offer from the Warriors?
He's going to get the money regardless. The other 29 teams would clear cap space in a heartbeat to add Kevin Durant. The Golden State Warriors would go into the luxury tax without a problem if it was to retain Kevin Durant. So I don't see finance being the issue. It's just a matter of commitment. And I anticipated he was going to leave at the end of this year. I don't think that somebody on crutches coming off an Achilles tear should sign a 1-year deal when he's in his 30s and then try to look up and go somewhere else. I think this hopefully now lends to him signing a 5-year deal with the Warriors.
I agree. One of the first things that went through my mind after I sort of digested the injury and the impact of it and the fact that he wouldn't come back was, oh, wait a second. I think this means that he stays with Golden State. Like, I can see him staying with Golden State for years and years. They'll go to luxury tax. They'll pay Clay. They'll pay Draymond. They will keep this core together. And in a weird way, I think that this tragedy, this nightmare, could actually help the Golden State dynasty moving forward. We will move forward with this program. There's so much more to break down from Game 5. We haven't even talked about the finish, the shots from Clay, from Steph, the stop from Draymond. We'll break all that down right after this.